And now, having built the fastest growing group at EXP in company history in North America and soon to be globally, I don't feel that there is a better opportunity out there for an agent. Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by the channel. Logan Allen Williamson here. I appreciate you being here. Now, as you've probably heard, quite some time ago, I made the decision to switch my real estate brokerage over to EXP Realty. Now, I know. As soon as that is said, there's a lot of negative nostalgia out in the marketplace based on a lot of the bad taste in agents' mouths about EXP, a lot of the clients who feel that EXP has not done them right, a lot of the brokers that simply downplay the opportunity to try to recruit agents into their own office. But I will tell you, I want to set the record straight. And I previously filmed a video about why I joined EXP, and that card is going to be up here. You can actually click that card and go watch that video. But in 2021, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update as to why I joined EXP and what you may be able to anticipate if you're considering the switch over to EXP as well.
Welcome to the Wold Pack.
Okay, now the first thing as far as why I made a change and where I came from, my situation is a bit unique in the sense that I was with a boutique brokerage when I first started my career about 5 years ago. I made the switch over to EXP Realty quite some time ago, about 3.5 years ago. And without a brick and mortar office, being licensed in 2 states before the onboarding process was secure, was seamless, and well organized, I didn't feel that I was well taken care of at EXP. At the time, the infrastructure for onboarding and a lot of the infrastructure, quite frankly, with the relationships with the staff internally, they just weren't there. Things weren't built, and it was actually tough as a new agent to be able to come into the model without a physical office and without quote unquote coaching that you get from typical brokerages, which we'll discuss here in a bit. It was very tough for me as an agent. I ultimately ended up leaving EXP and moving over to KW, Keller Williams, both in California and in the state of Nevada. Now, both brokerages are great. I love their training programs with Bold. They are national and quite frankly global. But all that being said, I still have great relationships with the brokers in both of my different market centers. KW does well. They do very well. Their agents do very well. It's a great culture, but I will tell you that I believe truly in my heart that with the partners that I have made at EXP and just seeing the way that we are able to leverage the model differently than any other agents at the company, and now having built the fastest growing group at EXP in company history in North America and soon to be globally, I don't feel that there is a better opportunity out there for an agent. It can truly change your life, and it's really unfortunate to see all the misinformation that's out there in the marketplace. So I'm jumping on here to set the record straight for a number of different reasons. One of the reasons why I feel like so many agents are rubbed the wrong way about EXP is simply based on the recruiting efforts of a lot of the agents that are spamming people. They're not reaching out, having real conversations, discussing goals with agents, discussing the model from a pros and cons standpoint as to why it might make sense or why it might not make sense. And do not get me wrong, EXP is not for every agent out there. That is fact. But for the right agent that is able to leverage the model properly and is able to go out and explain the model properly and is able to really become a producer inside and underneath of the model, it is something that you are not going to experience anywhere else in the world in the real estate industry. I met my business partners, which you will meet if you consider joining this group at EXP. They're some of the top 1% agents, not only as producers globally. I'm not just talking about North America and Canada, I'm talking globally. Portugal, Brazil, Mexico, UK, India, France. This is a global company, and in our group, as the fastest growing group in EXP history, we've got some of the top 1% producers in the world that we speak with, collaborate with weekly, that we have intimate relationships with. And on this team, based not only on those relationships for training purposes, not only on those relationships for referral purposes, but with the trainings that we're implementing in this group, and we're able to give to our agents to help them grow their businesses. My business partners and I have created something that is absolutely incredible with the Agent Wold Pack. Now, if you want to learn more, go to wolfpackagent.com. You can schedule a call directly with myself. You also have one-on-one access with some of my partners that are top-level producers, and we'd love to discuss that with you. But let's continue to progress down the list here as to why I ultimately joined EXP Realty. Now, one thing, and this is something to consider if you're an agent, this model is borderless, and the way that I personally have built my business is much different than how things were when I first started as an agent. When I first started as an agent, I was, like I mentioned, up in Northern Nevada. I was also selling over in wine country, and I was selling top dollar properties. I was looking at selling estates, these vineyards that were large, and simply not having a physical office to entertain clients, having them come over to my home office or invite them to a Starbucks. It was something that was unacceptable to me, and I was too young in my career to know the difference. Now I am basically a completely remote entrepreneur, which I have been for some time, which a lot of agents have been forced to do this year against their will anyway, because a lot of offices are simply closed if you weren't considered an essential business in your state. Now, I am basically a completely remote realtor. I invite people wherever we need to meet. I understand the different areas that I'm able to leverage in my market. I do 100% of my business online anyway, unless I'm out doing client tours. We have Zoom meetings. And it just makes sense to leverage a cloud-based brokerage for me. If you have the mental sticking point of thinking that a physical office is something that you absolutely need as a deal breaker, I want to start to basically break down the financial model with you at EXP, maybe over a call one-on-one, where you can start to understand that it may make more financial sense for you to simply lease your own office space as opposed to the dollars that could be potentially being left on the table for you by not leveraging this great model. Another thing that comes with this being a borderless business is the ability to partner. Business partnerships and relationships, especially on this team at the Agent Wolf Pack, creating partnerships for digital courses, creating partnerships for referrals. It's simply world class, and having access to this #1 team of agents is incredible. I currently have multiple referral deals going on with a couple of the big names over in the California market, and I'm up here in Northern Nevada, and we're doing relocation deals in very high price points, and it was all as a result of the networking done directly in this group. Let's talk about EXP being a cloud-based brokerage. One of the wonderful things that I love now as an agent doing business before I was in the early stages of my career is I understand what it really means now to be able to leverage resources to get deals done. And if you're an agent that's doing deals, you want resources and leverage within your brokerage to be able to simply do business. There's no doubt about that. Now, at my previous brokerages, which I won't downplay because again, the experiences were great, but sometimes getting access to my brokers for questions, for legal related questions, if I was working with clients out and we're looking at open land and we needed to discuss perk testing, we needed to discuss well and septic, all of these different things that come along with some of the intricacies of the business, sometimes you do need to ask broker questions. Now, since my experience at EXP, I literally have an app on my phone through Facebook Messenger. We have a platform called Facebook Workplace that is free of distractions. You're not going to see back massage video ads. You're not going to see a bunch of advertisements. It is strictly a work-related resource and app. But I have chats that are open with my state brokers where I literally go in, I can be sitting in a client meeting, I can send a direct message, and I usually get an answer within 5 to 15 seconds. I have an immediate answer from my client, and I become even more of that trusted advisor. So just this being a cloud-based brokerage with leverage to over 600 active employees that are inside the cloud to help you with tech-related questions at whatever hour of the night. If you're up editing videos, if you are up doing something with your CRM with KV Core, which is an incredible resource for a CRM that we get to leverage at EXP, you have access to help and you have access to people to answer questions for you. And that's a really, really nice perk of joining a cloud-based brokerage. Certainly if you're an agent that is trying to get deals done, and sometimes time is absolutely crucial for you being able to create that world-class client experience. I briefly touched on some of the partners that I'm already working with at EXP, but I will tell you the founders of the Agent Wolf Pack and some of the founding members like myself were leveraging social media differently. These are some of the top agents on social media. These are some of the top agents in the world, some of the top coaches that can help you do things to grow your business that you simply aren't going to find at other brokerages. And these partners, and based on what they've created, are doing some really standout things on social media. Now, you're going to know a lot of these folks that are in this group already if and when you decide to join, based on the coaching, based on the trainings, based on what they're putting out online. These are true entrepreneurs. These are world-class real estate professionals, and these are people that you just simply want to do business with. This group is going to give you direct access to some of the top agents in the world, not only from a transactional standpoint, but from an entrepreneurial standpoint, building multiple streams of income and doing things that are just unsurpassed in this industry, continuing to be outliers and continuing to move the needle for this industry. One of the things that has to be considered with EXP, if you're considering joining, are the income streams. Now, the typical agent who is only focused on transactions, especially in a year like we had with the pandemic, is going to be potentially hurting if you don't have that pipeline built and you don't have the robust big pipeline that is going to produce over and over for you again based on the metrics. Now, of course, if you're looking at key statistics and you're looking at metrics, business can be predictable from a transactional side, but quite frankly, there are very few brokerages that give the opportunity to create multiple streams of income at the same brokerage, and certainly none that allow you to create what you can at EXP. Now, as far as multiple streams of income, revenue share, equity, the ability to earn equity by getting your cap back, which I'll discuss in another video. It's just something that allows you to create and build true wealth, and you're not going to get that at other places. There's a big difference between revenue share and profit share, like you might hear from other companies. Equity, like you're seeing with the stock, which I can't tell you is going to go up, down, sideways, left, or right, because we are an SEC regulated company, but I will tell you that the ability to accrue equity and build multiple streams of income is something that can really help to supplement your business and remove stress in dire times. Now, there's an agent who is a part of our team who was able to generate 891 transactions in 1 month during the pandemic without doing any of that volume himself, based on his partners in the business and in this group, and being able to obviously receive that income when maybe your business is not thriving due to personal or economic or just global experiences or whatever the heck is going on. I'm telling you, it's something that is certainly going to change your life. The competitive advantage with EXP, especially as an entrepreneur, there are just, I've been an entrepreneur for many different seasons of life, and what I didn't understand when I first got started is that you need to do whatever it takes to create competitive advantage. Now, in the marketplace, when you're talking about working with a local broker that is maybe bringing you trainings on old social media tactics, or who's bringing in Instagram folks to teach you Instagram that have 500 to 1,000 followers or things along these lines, that's just not giving you a competitive advantage in your marketplace when it comes to modern strategies. Competitive advantage with EXP comes from a number of different things, from a time and efficiency standpoint, but being able to leverage and duplicate different aspects of your business, and certainly accessibility to the partners in this group, in the agent Wolf Pack, is going to be something that is going to be very eye-opening to you. It's going to create competitive advantage that, unless you were basically born with a silver spoon in your mouth, or you're in a marketplace where you have a big robust network where the business is just coming out of your ears, it's going to be competitive advantage that you may not have experienced before. To touch on scalability, duplication, leverage, and mastery. Now, this group is unlike any other. Again, if you want to discuss this group, you have direct access to scheduling a call with myself. You can go to wolfpackagent.com. I'd love to discuss this model with you at your convenience. You can schedule a call very easily directly with me. You're not going to talk to my assistants or anyone else. You're going to talk directly to me. My experience is what you can expect with the model and what you're going to have access to with this group. I've touched on a number of these things differently. If you know anything about me, you know that scalability and duplication and leverage is something that I'm all about in growing my business. And the fact of the matter is, we can only duplicate ourselves in our current business in our geographic market so many times. But with EXP, we can leverage a model to grow globally, which is something that has just never happened in the real estate industry like it has with this company. Now, I want you to consider growing a team. Let's call it 100. Actually, let's call it 5. Let's call it 5 agents that are outside of your market that you're getting paid on for transactions that they complete. Once the revenue share checks start coming, it's kind of an interesting situation, because one of the partners in this group, he was coaching me, and we went through a discussion where he says, listen, passive income is not something that you will understand the importance of as an entrepreneur until you start receiving it. And at that point, you would fight a bear to generate more of it. And I get that now. And I fully understand what he was talking about, because it is so true. Imagine being able to scale a team outside of your marketplace based on leveraging modern media strategies that would allow you to grow multiple income streams outside of your market, leverage, duplicate, and scale your business. It's something that really is life-changing as an agent, and the opportunity just hasn't presented itself in the past. Now, one of the most attractive reasons to join EXP, certainly right now, is the expansion of the actual company and the model, and just the time sensitivity of the opportunity. Now, us as a group, mentioning that we are the fastest growing group in EXP history, we are now expanding into Mexico, Brazil, Portugal, South Africa, India. We're already in the UK. We just expanded into France. We will continue with what's on the horizon to expand into more and more countries, presumably, and being able to leverage a couple of agents in a couple of these different markets is going to be absolutely life-changing. Now, I just had a conversation with a gal who is from South Africa, who's got family and friends that are agents down there and in a new market, just like some of the early adopters with EXP that leveraged and were able to build their business and their partners when the model first started back, let's call it 4 or 5 years ago even. It's actually been incredible to see what they've built. Now, at this stage of this time-sensitive opportunity, coming in, becoming an early adopter, and being able to grow your revenue share group with us globally expanding into so many different markets, it's an opportunity that is just, you wouldn't understand it unless you talk to a couple folks and a couple of partners that are actually generating the potential that is here with EXP, and it's something that a lot of people are going to look past, and over the course of the next 5 or 10 years, they're going to be very upset that they didn't, because this is very much a ground level and a ground floor opportunity. Thanks for watching everything. Quite frankly, there are just things with this group, with the Wolf Pack. Again, go to wolfpackagent.com to schedule a call. There are things with this group that are just not being offered elsewhere. I've been recruited improperly. I've been victim to the spam, the ugly messages, the agents that are just basically coming in blood hungry, just trying to bring agents on board. And I'll tell you, that is not the way we've built this group. That's not what this group is about. This group offers our agents things that other groups simply cannot offer. Now, personally, I own a media, it's called Media Mastery. Modern Media Mastery is my company, and I help agents leverage video content with YouTube, repurposing to Instagram, and helping basically generate leads, generate clients at scale through social media using modern strategies. But these are all strategies that I partner with and have learned from some of these folks within the Wolf Pack that also run their own media companies, their own agencies, and the things that we can offer to our agents are just not offered by other teams out there. Now, there are multiple mastermind calls per week. There's accessibility to numerous free trainings and different things that agents like myself and agents in our group have built out. We have a complete recruiting training backend. We have complete social media trainings that are offered to you immediately once you join the pack. We have mastermind calls, as I mentioned. There is one-on-one accessibility to folks to help you recruit agents, so you don't have to do everything on your own. There's very little that you actually have to do on your own once you join the crew. But I'd love to discuss things with you. If you're talking to other people at EXP, I promise you a call with us will blow your mind. Please go to wolfpackagent.com. My name is Logan Allen Williamson. I'm a proud realtor with the Wolf Pack here at EXP, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Thank you so much, and let's make the rest of these years in this industry great.